Hello and welcome to 1,000 Lives. I'm your host, Lady of the Library, and today's story is a standalone historical fantasy novel with magical realism elements. This is The Winter Garden by Alexandra Bell. Welcome to the Winter Garden, open only at 13 o'clock. You are invited to enter an unusual competition. I am looking for the most magical, spectacular, remarkable pleasure garden this world has to offer. On the night her mother dies, 8-year-old Beatrice receives an invitation to the mysterious Winter Garden, a place of wonder and magic filled with all manner of strange and spectacular flora and fauna. The garden is her solace every night for 7 days. But when the garden disappears, and no one believes her story, Beatrice is left to wonder if it were truly real. 18 years later, on the eve of her wedding to a man her late father approved of, but she does not love, Beatrice makes the decision to throw off the expectations of Victorian society and search for the garden. But when both she and her closest friend Rosa receive invitations to compete and create spectacular pleasure gardens, with the prize being one wish from the last of the Winter Garden's magic, she realizes she may be closer to finding it than she ever imagined. Now, all she has to do is win. She turned back into the room and froze. A white frog sat on her bed, holding a letter in its mouth and staring straight at her with bulging black eyes. Beatrice's nanny shrieked whenever they saw a frog in the garden, but Beatrice loved them and had always enjoyed collecting frog spawn and hatching the froglets. She'd never come across a frog like this one before, though. It almost seemed to glow in the dark, and it wore a pale golden crown. When Beatrice looked at the envelope in its mouth, she saw her name printed there, so she slowly reached out and took hold of it with her finger and thumb. The frog released it at once and hopped away to settle itself upon her pillow. Beatrice turned her eyes to the envelope in her hands. Her full name was written across the front in an elegant script, and the back was sealed with a purple wax crest sporting an emblem of a frog wearing a crown. Flowers entwined all the way up the back of the letter, and songbirds and spiders graced the loops of her name. Beatrice opened the envelope, and a white ticket fell out into her hands. Dear Beatrice, you are cordially invited to the Winter Garden, open only at 13 o'clock. Should you care to attend, simply follow the dancing mushrooms. Fondest regards, the Spider Queen. Thank you for joining, and for more information about the author or their books, please see the description. Until next time, happy reading.